So let's talk about Nvidia. I mean, if the AI revolution has a king, it's gotta be them, right? Their chips are literally the engine behind everything, from ChatGPT, which you've probably used, to the next big thing in AI. But here's the kicker. Their plan for total domination, it's way, way bigger than just selling a bunch of hardware.
So that brings us to the big question for today. If you're already the king of the hill, how do you make sure you stay there, like forever? How do you build a fortress that's so tough nobody can even think about knocking you off your throne? Well, the answer is kind of surprising. It's not just about having the best chips anymore. Nope. Nvidia is playing a much bigger, much smarter game. It's a game of alliances, big money investments, and making everyone else depend on them. And the latest move in this high-stakes chess match, it's a massive, massive bet on an AI startup called Anthropic. And believe me, this isn't just some random investment. This is a cornerstone of their entire strategy.
Okay, let's just talk about the money for a second, because the number is wild. We're talking about Nvidia pumping a staggering $10 billion into Anthropic over time. Just to put that into perspective, that's more than the entire economy of dozens of countries, all going into one single AI company. It's insane.
And what does that kind of cash do? Well, that money, plus another $5 billion from Microsoft, jacks Anthropic's valuation up to around $350 billion. That's double what it was worth before. Overnight, it just became one of the most valuable private companies on the entire planet. So what's the big idea here? What's the strategy? This quote really nails it. Nvidia is tying itself to the number 2 player in the game. Now remember, they're already a huge backer of OpenAI, the number 1 player. So what they're doing is just brilliant. It's a hedge. They're betting on both of the top horses in the race, making sure they win no matter who crosses the finish line first.
But here's the thing. This Anthropic deal, it's not a one-off, not even close. It's just the latest, thickest thread in this giant, intricate web of alliances that Nvidia has been weaving across the entire AI world. Let's zoom out and look at the whole picture.
Okay, so this right here, this is the master plan laid bare. You could see it's not just about backing the top 2 AI startups, Anthropic and OpenAI. Look closer. They've even taken a stake in a direct competitor, Intel. They're investing in crucial cloud companies like CoreWeave and even chip designers like ARM. None of these moves are random. Every single one is designed to make the whole AI world more and more dependent on Nvidia, giving them a seat at every important table. Of course, a plan this ambitious needs a rock-solid foundation. And for Nvidia, that foundation, the source of all this power, is their absolute, total, undisputed dominance in hardware. And this didn't just happen overnight. This was a long game, decades in the making. They invented the GPU way back in 1999. But the real genius move was creating their CUDA software. It made it super easy for developers to use their hardware, which created this incredible stickiness. Once you started using Nvidia, you didn't want to leave. That long-term vision is exactly why they're the essential go-to provider for AI today. I mean, just look at this. This chart says it all, doesn't it? Nvidia controls something like 90% of the market for the GPUs that power data centers. Those are the chips where the AI war is being fought. It's basically a monopoly. And that, right there, is the ultimate source of their incredible power. So let's connect the dots. You take that near monopoly on hardware and you combine it with this crazy web of strategic partnerships. What does that actually mean for the future of AI? What it means is you get this powerful two-headed giant sitting right at the center of the industry. Think about it like this. Nvidia is the architect, and, well, they're the arms dealer. They make the essential weapons, the chips, and they invest to make sure everyone is on their side. And then you've got their key partner, Microsoft. They're the platform, the integrator. They take all that hardware from Nvidia and use their Azure cloud to sell it to millions of businesses. It's a perfect feedback loop that just makes both of them stronger and stronger. So this is the grand payoff. The whole strategy works on so many levels. First, it secures long-term demand for their chips. We're talking years and years. Second, it builds that protective fortress of partners who are now totally dependent on them. And maybe most importantly, it gives them a huge say in where AI goes next. It all adds up to one thing, cementing their spot as the undisputed kingpin. Look, it's a brilliant, aggressive power play. There's no other way to say it. They've built themselves an AI fortress with deep moats and towering walls. But that leaves us with one last question to chew on. In a world that moves this fast, where things change in a blink, can any fortress, no matter how strong, really be unbreakable? What do you think?